Welcome back, everyone, to episode 9 of the Post podcast. I'm Matt Small. With me, as always, is Chris Ronan. How's your night been, buddy?
What's going on, brother? Had a good week this week. Me and the guys started playing Call of Duty Warzone again.
Nice.
Battle Royale. I'm having fun on that, so that might be my new thing this next week or so.
Go to NHL 21 already?
No, definitely still on that. The hut grind is tough, man. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, and it's kind of like, it's one of those games that you have to do daily in order to stay up to date and do well in it. Like, there's a lot of, like, challenges and stuff that you get rewards for, but, like, complete them on a daily basis. With the Warzone, I mean, a lot of my buddies play, and, like, I like games that you can communicate a lot with. Like, you know, I like communication-based games, basically.
Huh, interesting. So, like, it won't be, like, a casual game for me, the hut thing that you're talking about. Like, I can't just do it on the weekends, or... It's just
but I mean,
if you miss a day, it's all over.
No, not like that. It's just you don't. It's a reward-based system. So the more that you do, the more that you get, and the more you can grow in the game. You can do it casually, like I've been.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I would do it just on the weekends, like you're saying.
Oh wow.
But like, it resets every 24 hours, so you can get more rewards every day. You know.
Right.
So it's just that grind, that little thing in the back of my head that says you should go do this. You
know. Next, we got a lot to talk about tonight. One of them being the Hurricanes and Caps having an issue with COVID tonight. Not tonight, this week. Hurricanes not playing till at least January 3rd with 5 players on a COVID protocol related to on the absence list. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a recurring issue throughout the season. I think maybe after this week we won't cover it as much as we will tonight, just because it is what it is, you know? Like, these teams are going to do that. Like, Dallas was supposed to play on the 19th. They're not playing until tomorrow, the 22nd. So a 3-day delay on that. Now we have Carolina going into COVID protocol. The Caps going into COVID protocol, you know?
Right. And for everyone listening, protocol also doesn't mean tested positive. It's just might have had symptoms. Or
there's a chance they could have it, so to be safe there.
For the Hurricanes players, the list came out. It's Jordan Staal, Warren Fogle, Jordan Martinook, Jacob Slavin, and Teuvo Teravainen. So big names on there. Hurricanes are going to be missed. Hurricanes are going to be hurting without them if they were playing.
Yeah, I mean, sorry to jump in, but it's almost better that they're postponing the games, missing those names, like missing Slavin and Teravainen. Like, that could have a big impact on their games. So they're probably better off having these games postponed. You know?
Exactly. Unfortunately for the Capitals, though, they're in the same situation, but they're still playing. Big names like Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Orlov, and Ilya Samsonov are on the list for the protocol, and they're still playing, so they're going to be hurting without them.
Yeah, that's some big ticket names right there. That's 2 of your starting forwards and your top goalie right now, right?
Right. Which we just found out, Ilya Samsonov, we just found out tonight that he did test positive for COVID, so he is out. Tested positive, so it's a big hit for the Caps. Hopefully Ovechkin, Kuzi, and Orlov come back soon. But because of this, the team faced a $100,000 violation from the health and safety protocols for socializing among team members who are in close contact or who are not wearing face coverings.
That's tough. I mean, they're probably like in their hotel room chilling, like not wearing a mask. They're like, I'm around these guys all day anyways. Like, I mean, we're getting into like what becomes a political topic, but I get why they did it. Yeah. Like, I have you over my house. We're not wearing masks. It is what it is. Yeah. I mean, we're clearly in the same room. We're probably roughly a little under 6 feet apart, but I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, like, they're just trying to live a little, and it sucks. I mean, when you're in that main of a spotlight, you should probably follow the rules like they're supposed to be, but you know, it's tough.
It's tough. It's what it is.
If I was in a hotel room with my team, I wouldn't want to be like sitting there wearing a mask the whole time. They're probably boozing too, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, I don't know. Like, I get the NHL, you know, they're trying to be safe as can be. They did the same thing in the bubble, you know, try to be as safe as can be. And it's very strict. You're a professional. It's, you know, strict rules, like obliged, like you got to, it's what I'm looking for, oblige.
You got to, yeah, you got to follow them, I guess.
You got to follow them. But it's just unfortunate, and I don't know. Caps are paying a big price for that, team-wise. Definitely with You know, like I said, the big names out and paying $100,000.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It says the team got hit with the fine. Do you think the organization's like, you guys did this, you four, $25K each, all right?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Right? It's on them. They did it. You know, it's not like the whole organization ignored the protocols.
I think Ovechkin had like some kind of like comment to that.
All right, so Ovi's the captain, obviously.
Right.
I just think as a captain, he needs to make that statement. Sorry, go ahead. I want you to tell them the statement.
No, go ahead. Because
you sent it to me and you were like, wow, it kind of seems like he's kind of brushing this one off, sweeping it under the rug.
He does.
And I don't see it like that. I see it like he's a captain. He needs to make this statement. He made a mistake and he needs to own up to it. The same way that if another team, if it wasn't him that did it, his teammates, he would make the same statement, I think. You know, it's just the captain owning his mistake.
Yeah, makes sense. It's... Again,
you don't have the direct quote there, right?
It's just I don't have the direct quote. I did send it to you this week, and actually just remembered it as we're talking about it. But yeah, from what Ovechkin said, I was like, oh, okay. It seems like he's just like, this is dumb. Let's just move this aside, you know. But
I don't know. It just seemed like a typical press release. I don't think it was anything that he was saying. It seems dumb. I think it was just, I need to make this statement, and that's it. That's what the organization would have stated if it was shoe on the other foot, you know.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think it was definitely force-fed words, but I don't think you can take insight on how Ovi felt about the statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were probably like, here, read this. And that's what I mean. It's like, you can't really gauge how Ovechkin feels based on that, you know?
Right. Just read this verbatim. It's like, what was his name? So we were just talking about him from was it the Ducks or whatever? He goes, oh, man. He goes, thanks for being here. And he goes, sorry to be here.
Kevin Bieksa. He's closing an interview with someone, and it's one of those middle of the period things. So the guy's trying to focus on winning the hockey game. And she's like, all right, thanks for joining me, Kevin. He's like, I didn't have a choice, but thanks. Hilarious.
Speaking about having an issue with on the conference, you got Jake Voracek this week, who was not too pleased with reporter Mike Sealski. Sealski believes he went off on Sealski. I mean, I guess we could say it. He pretty much told him to go fuck himself.
Oh, absolutely. This was like the most abrupt thing I've ever seen. I don't know who was sitting with Voracek, but like the second he said it, his eyes were
wide open.
Like, oh, whoa, he's doing this.
Yeah, he didn't. Voracek didn't look too happy, like
even being there
to begin with. And then when he said something, he goes, "You're gonna fucking write whatever you want anyway, you fucking weasel."
Yeah,
like that. Like, whoa, where did that come from?
He took him down. So I think it was like last season or the season before. This dude, like, how's it go? He like misread something.
Yeah. So they couldn't get down to why he was mad, but they kind of figured it out. And Sealski wrote an article back in October of 2019. In the article, he said the Flyers got off to a slow start that year, and the head coach, Alain Vigneault, is talking and says he needs more time. Needs more from his veteran groups of players. Voracek and James Van Riemsdyk were laughing as he was talking. And Sealski came out, and he said he didn't mean like they were actually laughing at the coach and apologized for the misunderstanding. He actually went back and fixed the article and is trying to smooth things over with Jake. But I guess you could see. But it's also kind of something small, so there had been something else that he did.
Yeah, so like going back and refixing the article is what you should do there, but nobody cares about that. That's not the story. The story is what you initially write. You did it for the clicks kind of thing. So I see why Voracek is upset. You just don't usually see it addressed in front of the audience like this. So... Go ahead.
I was going to say, and I don't think it's something so small from back in October of 2019.
He's probably done it all season long.
He's probably done it all season long. He's one of those reporters that's a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name right now. Columbus Blue Jackets head coach.
Tortorella.
He's known in like many compilations on YouTube of just
roasting.
shitting
He's like the Belichick of the NHL, right? The way that he does his interviews.
He does it, yep.
Yeah.
But it's like there's another compilation of all the players like giving reporters shit too, and I'm like, it makes sense. There's so many reporters out there. I hate to bring it up yet again, but like 98.5 Felger and Mass just shitting on Rass. Like, you're gonna keep doing it, and all of a sudden, a reporter, come up to Rass and start asking him questions. You think Rass is gonna like be like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
He's not. But I think the reporters have a hard job because if you ask the simple, easy question, you're going to get a one-word answer.
Right.
And if you ask the hard questions, you look like an asshole. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're in a tough spot. But the funniest thing to me was the the direct quote from Voracek. Doesn't matter what I say, Mike. You're going to write fucking shit every time. Savage, dude. Just buried him in front of everyone. He's like, next question. I didn't even want to answer that. You're a weasel.
It's not even that bad. I think it's the way he did it too, because he's sitting there just disgruntled and like rubs his eyes.
Get me out of here! I hate this guy.
I think at one point he goes, "I wasn't even gonna fucking answer your question."
Yeah.
He goes, "You fucking weasel!" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, he dusted him big time.
I didn't see that. All of a sudden, it started like appearing all over Instagram and like social media. I'm like, "What's this?" And I click on the video. I'm like, "Oh my god!"
So funny. He looks just like the. I mean, it sounds stupid to say. Any ginger with a big bushy beard like that looks like the wildling from Game of Thrones, doesn't he?
He does. Like
Hilarious.
Brianna Toth, just like just
Yeah.
staring her down. Moving on from that. So we had an issue in Islanders. Varlamov was struck in the neck during warm-ups by a teammate, Cal Clutterbuck, which gave Ilya Sorokin his first NHL start. They lost 5-0. On top of that, for the game before, Farley shut out the Bruins 1-0. And then the game coming back, shutout that too. So he had 2 consecutive shutouts after that. So what do you think about that though? For like, especially practices, especially men's league. Depending on like if you're playing like B, C, D level or whatever, I feel like there's so many guys there that don't understand. They're just taking clap bombs, even though like your back could be turned toward like facing them, and they'll be like, "All right, time to like
Yeah, they
take
don't care,
absolute
man.
bombs."
Yeah, they don't care.
But I feel like in this league, the NHL, I don't feel like that shit.
It doesn't happen often because they know in warm-ups, control your shot. There's no reason to go bar down on a goalie in warm-ups. So
No.
I don't know who shot the puck. I mean,
It was Cal Clutterbuck.
oh, it was Clutterbuck. Yeah. He's been around so long. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, obviously. I don't even think he was trying to go bar down. I feel like the shot must have just gotten away from him. You know what I mean? Like, that's dead center of the net. He's an NHL player. He's been in the league so long. He should be able to control that shot.
Right.
So I don't think he's, intending to hit him, but it's just a bad look. Like, I've seen... There's like this one picture that's always on the goalie pages of a goalie in warm-ups, and it's just got targets like, all right, I'm going to aim above glove, above blocker, at the mask, in the nuts. Or like 6 feet wide right. Sick warm-up, guys. Thanks. Never low. Never going to warm up the pads. But it was a pretty good quote from Barry Trotz in response to what happened to Varlamov. So he says, quote, "It wasn't fair to Ilya," which is Samsonov. "It wasn't fair to Varley. The way the guys warm him up, it started in warm-up, and it just sort of carried over through the whole game. Obviously, we put Sorokin in a real tough circumstance. We did it to ourselves, injuring Varley in the warm-up. To me, it's almost unacceptable. To me, it's like running your quarterback over in warm-up. Players got to recognize that your goaltender is the most important player on your team. You've got to get him warmed up, and guys are just not thinking."
Right.
So, I mean, me and you are obviously going to agree with that. I don't see how you could disagree with it, but...
I don't understand how you could disagree with it either. I've gotten hurt in warm-ups. I still remember...
I forget the percentage, but like a large portion of goalie injuries happen in warm-ups.
Warm-ups.
Yeah. Not just from shooters, just stretching, things like that too.
This is... I guess I could blame myself for this one. But again, like I've had my back turned and like, I get it like right in the back. Like,
oh my God. The worst. The worst is when you turn around and you take a sip out of your water bottle and you hear right by your ear.
Yep. Oh, the worst
like
is...
I turn around, I'm like, sick, dude. And the guy that shoots it is like just trying to like blend in with the crowd, like he didn't fire that puck.
The worst part is like in men's league, there's no one that puts the pegs in. You're doing it,
Yep.
and both times
my team takes care of me. They like me.
They do.
They must hate
I
you.
keep my glove on, but my blocker's off and like my stick's down, and I usually take my mask off too. So I'm usually down like banging the banging the pegs into the ice. And there's times where like I'll just see a puck like fly right past me into the net. I'm like, whoa, what are you doing,
I never
man?
take my helmet off. Like the only time I do is in between plays on the ice or in between periods to get some water.
Yeah.
But no way, man. Warm-ups, I trust my guys less than I trust the other team.
Spin about we'll keep this rolling here. Carter Hutton got injured today.
Oh
Did
yeah.
you see that?
That's a good transition from his own team injuring him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Carter Hutton's playing goalie for Buffalo, right?
Yep.
And his own defender, Provorov's coming in, swinging down the left wing. His own defender, after Provorov's taken the shot, Hutton's made the save, pushed it to the corner, follows the puck with his head. The defenseman, who was it? Do you know who the defender was?
It was Brandon Montour.
Brandon Montour. Like, absolutely crushes Provorov. Provorov does a 180, comes around with a flying elbow, and just creams him in the head and takes his mask clean off Hutton.
It's insane. Even in slow-mo, you're like, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, he got smoked,
That's brutal.
dude. I saw the video, like, oh, man. He came out of the game, right?
He's still out.
He's still out?
Yeah, he's injured with a head injury.
Probably had a concussion, a couple missing teeth.
I wanted to bring that up, too, because it happens in men's leagues, too, where just, like, one, it's just a fucking pickup. Two, it's like, all right, calm down. Like, I've had bigger guys go after small guys, and I'll have the puck covered up, and then all of a sudden I feel like a huge body just,
on top of you, on your back, right? Yeah.
Or just like a leg. I have had like shin pad like right in like the neck that like pushes me out, and you really got to watch what you're doing there, like especially. From a goalie's perspective, in like a saving position, like especially covering down, that's when we're like the most vulnerable. And
honestly, if my preference for my defenseman is once I have my hand there, turn around, face away from me, and just box him out. You know what I mean? Box him out facing that way, not facing towards me. You know what I mean? Because that's gonna get them to shove you onto me, and if you're facing out, you can just keep them away from me. You know.
I mean, this league is full of professional players who have been playing for years that are like 6 feet.
And Montour's one of those guys, isn't he?
And yeah, just big dude. The injury you can cause is insane. To put your own teammate goaltender in that type of situation is really disgusting. Especially when you watch that, you're just like, this shouldn't happen, especially in this league. I honestly do think. The defenseman Brandon Montour, I wrote down, needs a reality check because he did it. He knew what he did. He pushed Provorov into his goalie and knocked him out. But when Provorov was Provorov, sorry.
Yeah.
When he was like down pretty much in the net on the ice, he got mad that he did it and jumped on him and started swinging at him. And
that's what they do.
I don't. But it's like I don't know. It's your fault. So like stop it. And I think the worst part is. When I was looking this up, there's a lot of articles blaming Provorov for this. I'm like, especially like
a Buffalo-centered article, right? Yeah. They don't want to blame their own guy.
I'm just like, you guys got to take like responsibility for what happened. I don't get how.
Not even that. Just look at it. Just look at it.
Look at it. It's not. How are you writing this article?
Yeah.
So that goes back to what we're talking about with, Jake Voracek.
Yeah.
Like how article writers and shit could just like totally twist what actually happened and make someone look like a piece of shit when they're not. So it's disgusting what happened. One, but I think from what I've looked up with it, I think the people who write the articles really need another dose of reality check. It wasn't that difficult to watch. You watch it both in like regular motion and slow mo, and you're like, oh my god, Provorov couldn't do anything.
Yeah, he's flying through the air. So one thing that I would say, looking at Trotz covering the Varlamov injury in warm-ups, I think I should have seen the Buffalo coach come out and basically do the same thing about Montour and call him out, just like Trotz called out Clutterbuck. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
I don't know. That's what I would have liked to see out of that situation, at least.
I don't know.
Right now we got this is Friday night. Thursday night. Sorry. We're doing a Thursday night recording now. We got Canadiens Canucks right now, 2-2, 8 minutes into the game.
I gotta tell you, that Canadiens Canucks games
they've been so good to watch.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, and this one obviously, I mean, we're not watching it, but I got the scores going. This must be fun to watch too. 2-2 already. That's nuts. Some high flying offense on these teams.
I mean, I gotta tell you, when I have a big breakdown for that Holtby Price that game alone. I think we had to go through it again before this, and there was like a pause here and there.
So many good saves. So many good goals.
So many good. Is that a good time to break that down?
Yeah, we can jump right into that if you want.
Jump right into that. So, unfortunately, I didn't write this down. So, in this game, it was the Canadiens at Canucks. That was January 20th.
Final was 6-5 Vancouver in a shootout, right?
Right. So, at one point you got Holtby that's just we talked about this though, and you gave me a different perspective on this. There's the Canadians were on the power play. It's currently sorry, I should have had this up. It was currently 2-0.
2-1. I think they tied it up.
I think they just tied it up. Sorry, I'm going to get this thing going here. I thought I had it up. Yeah, so anyway, if you break this down, you got Holtby looking. It's clearly like a break. You got Nick. You got 3 players here. 3 Canadians plays. Nick Schmidt is covering. I don't know who that player is in the middle, but you got Suzuki and I can't remember this player. 72 here. But the way Holtby is, it just looks like he was cheating, but like not. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't cheating. I think he knew that puck was coming across for that one timer. But then when you watch it, he comes down into the butterfly, and just like he just lets that tap in. So from like my perspective, I'm trying to figure out why Holtby did that. And then you broke it down saying, Nate Schmidt did go down, so he might have, expected the puck to hit his body and come across. But what do you do? Because as I have this pause, you could see him staring at that puck coming across. Yet he's still in the butterfly, stuck with his body leaning right to the post, even though it's coming left. Like how? Obviously, the puck went in. It's at this point, it's a 3-on-1. That it's rough, but. I at the beginning I was trying to break this down and I thought I had it right, but you really gave me a different opinion on it.
The reason that I have a different opinion than you is, and it gets into the nitty gritty of replays nowadays. You could slow down a play to like half speed, quarter speed,
right,
and it looks entirely different than when you watch it fully play out at full speed.
Mm-hmm.
And we see a ton of that in the NFL right now. They're looking at slow motion replays. Is it a catch? Is it not? And when you break it down like that, anything could be a catch and anything can't be. Like you need to just like, take it from a like a referee's perspective, let them make the call, and it is what it is. So in this play, what I see, full motion, I see Holtby sees the threat of the shot on the left wing. His defenseman drops down to block the pass. So he sees the pass as being taken away entirely.
Yeah.
Leans into that right post, taking away all of short side. For Suzuki to shoot at. The pass gets sent. Who drops down? Schmidt drops down to try to block it.
Right.
Holtby doesn't know if Schmidt's going to get a piece of it or not, so he plays the shot. The pass gets under him, and it just gets tapped in because no one's there to cover.
Right.
So there's a few different ways of looking at it, because I did see him cheating, but I think he also realized, I'm cheating for that pass. I need to play the shot because my defenseman should be responsible for the pass.
Right.
And then once he leans into that blocker side, he doesn't have the speed or the strength in that position to set that right edge and push across and even make an effort on that left side.
Right.
That's what locked him up,
Throughout this game too, we went through a bunch of like saves and goals, and we just talked about it before this podcast. And I mean, I'm not taking fucking anything away from Holtby. Yeah, it's just his positioning wise is what confused me, because again, it looked like he was getting ready to push across, and all of a sudden just like stopped and went into the butterfly. I'm trying to figure out why, but you are right. Maybe it was Schmidt that came down, but anyway,
because if that puck hits Schmidt, it's going to the far right corner.
Right.
So now he's set on that post, waiting for Suzuki to pick that puck back up and set it out front. But he's already set in his
exactly.
VH.
So he probably just got.
Froze.
Mm-hmm. But
and that's why he didn't move, I think.
Right. And we went through a bunch of like different saves and goals through Holtby on this. And there was one. What was the pass across that we saw?
It was like the same play with no defenseman laying out. It was just
and through pausing it and just like really breaking it down, like Holtby was just spot on with everything. Like,
yeah. So looking at this game, let's call it 5-5 and then a goal, obviously the shootout win.
Yep.
So it's a 5-5 tie. These goaltenders, they played so well. There were so many highlights.
Yeah.
It's just a defensive collapse on the goals.
It
I
is.
don't see a lot of mistakes made by the goalies, other than the one that you showed earlier with Price, frozen because of Besser.
Besser, and that's another thing That's the other thing I want to break down. But yeah, even though this is one of those games where like the score is high, but at the same time the goalies didn't make many or any mistakes.
It was the defenseman, I think.
It was just the defenseman, or like Holtby had like just a tip that like you couldn't.
A nasty tip.
Just a nasty tip that like
blown defensive coverage on that one too.
All of these are just like the majority of these were just again, like defensive breakdowns.
But that's how goals get scored.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's either they're beat 1-on-1 on a shot, or it's a blown coverage.
Right.
You know.
But I guess you could say what I'm trying to say is from a different perspective too. We see that as just broken down defense, where other people could be like, "Wow, these goals are terrible." It's like, like, no,
yeah. The average fan isn't going to look at it like that.
These goalies, both Price and Holtby in this game are stellar.
If this was the first hockey game you've ever watched, you would be like, "Wow, these guys are probably the worst two goalies in the league."
Yeah,
you know what I mean? 6-5 final.
Not knowing how perfect Holtby is, he just
and
won
Price,
the cup and Price.
Yeah.
But there's right after this. Right after this play, Price lets in this goal here, and this is one that I can really break down too. So it was Brock Besser, right, who we were just talking about?
Yeah, Besser scores.
So the shot, it's probably not the best angle. So Price up here, he's going to shoot, the shot's going to come for the point, and Price is going to get it with his left pad and pretty much push it out in front of him.
Juicy rebound. No real
rebound.
choice, though.
I think the worst part was it's in front of him, but it's just getting the pad there itself. You see the 3 Canadians right here and just Brock Besser. So there was some traffic. At least he had the pad. I think the problem was it just bounced out in front of him. But Besser is kind of just like, I wouldn't say alone, but like he has the puck right here.
He's in the only open space that those 3 Canadians have left.
Right. Exactly.
And he has the wherewithal and ability to corral that puck and score it.
Exactly. So in this breakdown, Price was so poorly positioned right here. So Price is going to come across. I don't know if he freaked out. Like, I'm not too sure what he did.
What I see here is that shot from the point, creams off his pad. He knows it's on left side. He's still kind of resetting himself after the slap shot.
Right.
So it comes off his left pad. He overextends because of the rebound and pushes left hard when Besser is corralling the puck, and that's what leaves him exposed.
Because you could see in this, he's kind of looking at the puck, so he kind of knows where it is. And then watch him kind of come across. I think that's where he screws up.
Mm-hmm.
But he's coming across to the left, and his right leg, if I can pause the right, his left leg is being pushed to the left. So it's like that's what I'm looking for. So it's a lot closer to his left leg. His right leg is a lot closer to his left leg, pushing on the left side.
So when he pushes right, what he's doing is a reflex where you're pulling your right toe in behind your ass when you should leave that pad flat and extended.
Right.
He's basically like trying to get momentum, pushing right to left, and then he's kicking that foot back so he gets more momentum to recover back left to right.
That's perfect.
So he's overextended one day.
Yep.
He's overextended one way, and he's using his right foot to get more momentum to overextend the other way.
Right.
But when he does that,
it's a shit show because I'm trying to find good ways to explain this for the Apple and Spotify listeners here. But yeah, when he's coming across, he gets his arm down. He has his arm down with his stick just laying on the ice, kind of flat on the ice.
Trying to close 5-hole with the stick.
Trying to find close 5-hole. The problem is Price is to his left, and he's pretty much got like the bottom left center of the net covered, right?
Yep.
But he's left that entire right side open, like the low bottom all the way to the top of the net, just wide open. And especially with that arm down, is just like Brock Besser's little backhand. It goes low. If you look at it, it just a little tap in.
The one correction I think I would give Price here is putting that blocker to the ice does you no good. You know that there's a backside offender right there waiting for Besser to either miss the net and just bury it. But if you keep that blocker high, you set yourself with your stick in front of your 5-hole and then set that left leg, you can get back over. You know what I mean?
Right. And I mean, it's Price too. I get that he came over, but he's a quick guy. His movements are unbelievable. His movements are like one of the best in the NHL. But it's the positioning here that it ruins him.
But so at the end of all this, we're breaking down all of 3 seconds of play. It's a fast slap shot rebound.
Right.
He pushes one way and another, and it's in the net. Like, you can't overanalyze this either. Like, he's not perfect as much as like fanboys think he is.
No,
it's just like a half second, not even. It's a quarter second screw up.
Yeah,
it was the 1 split
I think
second.
This all happened in like 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah,
all
most.
This happens. Yep. But these guys, especially Price, they're sculpted to play a certain way. Like it's just in his head to So I don't know if this is something like you practice or whatever. But I feel like even for me, for me, a fucking beer leaguer. I've been in this situation where, like, mentally, without even thinking, I get up, like, my arm's not down in this situation at all.
Nope.
I stand big.
Yep.
Like,
Exactly.
if I don't
That's
know
exactly
where
what I
it's
was just
going,
gonna say.
I stand big and try to cover up as much net as possible. Whereas Price right here, he's not.
He's very small.
He's very small.
He's taking up maybe half of the net at most, like full body, half of the net.
Exactly. It's just nothing, and which leads right here to Brock Best's easy ass goal right here.
So, looking at it from our perspective as dumb beer leaguers, I think that slap shot comes in. We stop. We set the rebound right, and it's right there. I'm honestly just standing still and getting big.
Right. Exactly.
But that's the difference between us and the NHL. You stand still and get big, and you're gonna get exposed big time. You know.
Right. And I don't know. Was there even time to?
That's the thing. We're breaking this down in such slow motion. When you rewatch this replay, it happens in under 2 seconds.
So
shot at 306, right?
Shot at 306. The goal happens literally
308.
at 308.
2 seconds later.
2 seconds later. But, like, so watch Price here. So he comes down. He's got some time to actually get back up. He's quick back on his feet. But he's, like, again, what you said, he just stayed down. And, like what you said, you can really get your
he
really get
overextended?
shitted on.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think that's what happens. And I don't know, just bad play, just bad positioning. But, you know, you just got to move on. But it's something I wanted to break down because I think that's something, especially goalies, can look at and learn from and be like, hey, you know, Price is doing it, but don't follow Price on this because, you know, certain situations like this where the play's close and, you know, you might not know where the puck is, but you got to make yourself look big. Don't drop your arm. Don't give the shooter, like, all that net to shoot at. Trying to make yourself look big as possible.
And one last comment that I have on this whole thing. There's always something you can learn from goals like this, but this isn't the ideal goal to analyze. This is split second. This is shit happens, basically, is how I look at this goal.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. I did, yeah. But that was something I did notice when watching this game, though.
This game was awesome to watch.
This game was incredible to watch. It's like, I have this favorite. Like,
right.
It's just so good.
And now they're playing now 2-2 still,
so
5 minutes
good.
left in the first. So
I didn't think, so when we talked about the Northern Division, I didn't think, like, the Canadians Vancouver series would be good. I thought Vancouver would be flying through them, but
yeah. Nick Suzuki's looked unreal, and Tyler Toffoli too.
Right,
nasty.
So crazy to see it, and I'm going to tell you, this might be one of those series where just like if it's on, I'm watching it. One of those.
For sure.
So I didn't want to talk about that. If anyone, I'll try to have. Actually, you know what we could do? I can for the YouTube fans, I could put the in the description. I could put the games in the description for everyone to see what I'm talking about. But if you guys see that, or I guess we're gonna have it on. We could probably get it on edited, right?
What?
We did do it last week for this episode, but like we were talking about having an issue with like NHLs and no.
Yeah. We'll see where that takes us. We got to look into that.
Yeah. But yeah, I would like to know from a goalie or even a shooter, if a shooter's watching here, I want to know your perspective on this. Do in the comments, or, you know, you can email us. Well, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this. But moving on to something better, Casey DeSmith, that Teddy Bluger pass, man.
Yeah,
did you see
unreal.
that?
Never even heard of Teddy Bluger in my life. That pass was amazing, dude. Way high. It was awesome.
It reminded me of Marty Turco. Just like a
the form, I think, the way that he got under the puck to lift it.
He got under the puck. Oh boy, and just absolute sauce. See that?
He catches it on the fly too. That's a nice heads up play by Bluger. Seeing him driving that puck out.
So good, so good. I think I'm gonna play it here, and like, I think this is all upper body. If you see it, I mean, he's a small goalie. I think when you're a big tall goalie, you can use like your leg, but watch his form right here.
Catches it, drops it. I love
drops it, and like when you pause it right here, like look at his shoulders down. You know, he's using. I don't see much leg. I think it's all upper body that he's using it because once he lets go,
it's a rotation. It's a hip rotation.
It might be a hip rotation. Yeah, you're right. And just an absolute sauce, man. It was so good. I was watching this game.
He really rides that puck right up the blade of the stick too.
Right.
You see it go heel to toe.
I didn't
perfect.
I was watching this game. I did not expect this. He dropped it, and I was like, "Oh, is he gonna play the puck?" Like sometimes goalies will have that and like kind of pass behind him,
like
to the
either
back.
behind the net or up that off the glass, chip it up and out. You know?
Right, exactly. And then all of a sudden, you just like.
I want to see where this player comes from too. Wow,
Right
just wide open in the middle, just cuts for it. That's
like,
awesome.
Just a beautiful pass.
Nice move too.
And,
Open up the 5-hole and tuck it.
So good.
Fake the shot. Nice.
So good. So that was cool as shit.
Yeah, that was nice to see. You don't see that often.
I was shocked when I saw that live.
I think you're going to see it more and more. Like their goalies are really starting to focus on their puck handling skills with like the Ben Bishops of the world. Like he is one of the best puck handlers in the league. But you also see them screw up, like we saw with Carter Hart the other night against the Penguins, when Crosby batted that thing out of the air.
Right. I guess there's a few more things we want to talk about tonight. There was something I did want to talk about, and that's Ryan Miller. I don't think you were into it as much as I was, but
looking at this, it looks like it shouldn't be allowed, honestly. So he basically added a mod to the wrist cuff of his glove pad.
Right.
And it basically is just like extra impact absorption, but it kind of looks like a shitty piece of styrofoam, like nailed to his glove.
He's had this for like a few years now. He said 2018, but I feel like he had it on before then. Because like when you're a gear slut, man, like this time's like watching the games or just like seeing clips on Instagram. Thank God for Instagram, because now I could zoom in. This time's where like I'll pause things and like zoom in and just check out gear and stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's a mod. What's that for? And I saw that mod on his glove years ago, and like zero explanation of what it is, why it's allowed, or anything. And after Ryan Miller retired, he was actually pretty good on Instagram. And I brought it down here somewhere in the beginning. Oh, in May of last year, he was on Instagram, and he talked about it. And it's just a padding on his wrist, the wrist of his glove.
We'll chuck a picture up too.
Sorry,
we'll chuck a picture up too. Right?
Yeah, we got a picture. The NHL approved it, and it's to help for the impact on his wrist. He had his pisiform bone completely removed after the 2018 season. The pisiform bone is 1 out of 8 of the smallest bones that form part of the wrist joint. But so that was interesting, and you could as a goal in a goalie perspective too. Like how long it takes to figure shit out, especially being a gas slut and like what the hell is that on your glove, and finally getting to know what it is. I
think like you said, it's becoming more of an open book now. Like back in the day. Even 10 years ago, you wouldn't know any of this. You know what I mean? It's becoming more I think that it would be more reporters looking into it like, hey, what is that? Why do you have it? Yeah,
but nothing.
Like the other thing you mentioned today, too, Marty Barone with his spray. He used to spray some kind of glue spray on his hands to get his glove to stick so he didn't have to use a baseball glove.
Yeah, so this is my uncle who never watched, he watches hockey, but he never played hockey or goalie to begin with, but he's the one who got me into this is back in high school. He's the one that got me into baseball gloves to wear under my catching glove, and ever since then I got you into it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked it, but they fall apart so fast on me for some reason, so I don't do it anymore. I've given up.
Oh, really?
They just fall apart too quick.
Mine last a while. I don't know what you got. The Tuukka ones we got were absolutely terrible.
Yeah, that was garbage.
That was terrible. Interesting. I might need to. I got one that's been lasting me almost 2 years now.
Tell you what, though, if I could figure out what that spray was, his accent, I couldn't tell what he was talking about. But
God.
I would totally buy.
But that's how we figured things out back in the day. I'm showing you shit from back in the day that I remember because it was the littlest piece of information.
You noticed the Lundy loop before it was the Lundy loop and told me about it, and I was like, buddy, I've just started playing goalie. I have no idea what you're talking about. And then now I have the same thing on my pads. You know what I mean?
This is back in 2010, 2011.
Yeah. You were talking about it day one goalie.
Oh yeah.
I was like, who's Lundqvist?
There was one night where Lundqvist, I was watching him skate, and he had his skate lace skate strap was behind his skate, and I'm looking at it. The hell is that? And we found out that it's a mod for Lundqvist. We call him the Lundy strap, Lundy loop, or whatever. And there was no like skates now, like goalie skates now have them. Like
They come with them, yeah.
They come with them now. But back then, man, I had to like you had to customize. I found I took like an old backpack of mine, the black straps. I cut those off and made a loop and pretty much Gorilla glued it to like the back of the skate and we started to use it. So like the stuff you got to go through. But
dude, did I tell you about my chest protector too?
No,
I had to drop that off. Both my arms fell off. I talked about it one week when I said to take my arm off.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I found a place that's repairing it. They're basically reattaching the arms, but it's just a pain in the ass. Like I paid a lot of money for that chest protector. It still works really well, and if those arms are back attached, like I'm not buying a new one, man.
I thought was it the same? I must have talked to you about my old chest protector. Like one of the first ones I got was the iTech ones.
Yeah, I remember that.
For all the new people listening, iTech was actually a huge company back then.
Yeah, we talked about iTech and Coho one week.
Yeah, I tell you about the straps that I had that were just like the Velcro straps.
Yep, we talked about those on that episode too. Yep.
Yeah, that was fucking brutal. But it's crazy to talk about now how far everything's come. Like now, like the Lundy mod was just me like constantly trying to figure shit out. Like just Google and just like looking at like images that like there was one image on Google. But now like thanks to Instagram and stuff, like a little thing like a little mod that Lundqvist would do, it'd be all over. There'd be so much information on it.
Yeah, for sure.
So like as a gear slot now, it's just so much easier.
You want to go into waivers next, so I can run and take a pee break?
Let's do it.
Think that works?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, brother.
Casimir Kaskisuo is one of the guys. He's a goalie.
Shout out Casimir on Twitter.
Oh yeah. Casimir Kaskisuo is now playing for the Nashville Predators. And he vlogs. He's on YouTube if you look him up. He's cool as shit to watch, and actually he's been a great kind of eye inside everything. And the latest video that he had, he kind of explained waivers. And for everyone watching and on Instagram and Twitter and everything, you're gonna see players left and right on waivers. And I was noticing that there's a lot more players being on waivers than I used to see, especially in the beginning of the season. Like, Aaron Dell's on waivers. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So, to explain the waivers situation, especially for the taxi squad, you're gonna see a bunch of these. You're gonna see a bunch of players on waivers. It's for the taxi squad. You need a waiver for players to be loaned to the minors. But during that time, other teams have 24 hours after being placed on waivers to claim the player. So, like, I was just Aaron Dell is actually one of them who I was going to talk about. He's playing for the Maple Leafs, but he was actually picked up off waivers by the Devils. And I don't know if that was the Maple Leafs' decision. I don't know if they thought Aaron Dell. I don't know if they thought it'd be a good move to put Aaron Dell down into the affiliate team. But in order to do that, you got to put it on waivers. And unfortunately, for Toronto, New Jersey Devils picked him up. So when you put a guy on waivers for the taxi squad, you have a 24-hour period where you might even, the player they put in the squad, you might not even have after that 24 hours. So it's like what's the word I'm looking for? It's something you take. It's a risk you take. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. It's a risk you take
to do it. But after the 24 hours, if no one picks you up, if no team picks you up, then
you're open to the market.
You're open to the no. Then you go down to the affiliate team.
Oh, gotcha.
For the team.
So with Toronto, I'm sure they were fudging the cap numbers a bit doing that, because they're so tight up against it.
One thing I learned too is if I brought up Aaron Dell. He went to the Devils, but say Aaron Dell was put on waivers to go into the taxi crew. What the fuck am I trying to say? Taxi squad. And there was like 5 teams that wanted him all at once. The worst team in the league would get him.
On this year's standings, right?
On this year's standings. In the standings for that year, the worst team in that league
has first dibs.
Has first dibs.
One thing that I'm hoping that he didn't go ahead and start was Maple Leafs pads, because we were talking about how Aaron Dell always has sick pads. Sick
pads, man.
And I hope that he didn't start customizing his Maple Leafs one. He's gonna have some sweet ones for the Devils.
The first thing I thought of when I saw Devils pick up Dell, I'm like, oh my god, that gear is gonna be sick. I love watching.
Now you see like game used stuff. It's like fresh set of Arendelle Maple Leafs pads never used on the market now.
So so he was picked up. Arendelle was picked up by the Devils.
Another sick team for him to go to make a nice set of pads with the Devils. Kind of like
black, red.
You see Robin Leonard's Knighted pads? Those are nice, dude.
Those are gonna be nice.
Sharp.
So he was picked up, and because Crawford retired, I guess they've been leaning on Blackwood. So the Devils have they don't have like an extreme goalie situation, but they needed that backup.
Yeah,
they needed that
for
guy,
sure. Especially this season.
All they have,
seasons.
I wouldn't say all they have, but they have Eric Comrie and Scott Wedgwood, and both goalies, man. I mean, they're good, but they're not haven't been in the league that long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they need like a veteran backup. I should say.
Picking Dell up gives them the flex room of, if anything COVID related happens, like the Capitals have with Samsonov being out now.
Right.
They have no Lundqvist,
right,
and they have to rely on the other two guys. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So it gives the Devils some breathing room, and actually gives them some depth, I guess, if you want to say.
I would say absolutely.
Yep.
I think he would go before Wedgwood and the other guy, but we'll see. You know,
easily. We talked about. I think they're giving Blackwood a rest, though, right? We talked about the roster and everything.
So it's Comrie and Wedgwood.
Comrie and Wedgwood right now, and
Dell has just been added.
Dell's been added.
I wonder if he's gonna have to quarantine where he's coming from. That's also a different division too.
That's what I'm talking about. So, sorry. That's what I was talking about too, because I'm like, I wonder if he's got to like do the protocol and like take the test.
It's now like 7 to 10 days, and I wonder if a negative test allows you to be like, no, you're good, you can come play. You know what I mean?
Right.
So interesting to see.
I actually talked about this in the Discord. It was me, you, Tommy, and everyone. Actually, I don't think you were there. But
I haven't been on in like a week. I've been doing stuff around the house here.
Oh, gotcha. But I was talking about like I wouldn't say first dibs and you know how the vaccine's out. I feel like at this point, like, because everyone like wants to watch sports, you know, and they want to get their head out of everything that's going on. Don't you feel like maybe the professionals should be getting like their round of vaccines?
Well, so that is an interesting way of looking at it. The way I looked at it was, these guys are the most fit people in the world. They're young, healthy. Like, why would they need the vaccine? If they get it, they'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the other side of the coin, you know?
But you also see guys going out.
Oh, no, absolutely. But I think it's not for their own safety. And well, it is. Right. It's not for their own health reasons. Right. It's to prevent the spread of it to the entire team and to the entire league, you know? But yeah, that is a funny way of looking at it that I hadn't even thought of.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just a thought I had. I'm like, wait a minute, the vaccine's out. Why can't they get that? So none of this has to be like.
It would probably be like
thing.
A bad look for the league, because they'd be like, "Oh, you think these guys are more important than the rest of the world?" You know what I mean?
That's what I think Tommy is the one that brought that up. He goes, "Yeah," he's like, "Yeah, there's literally people like that."
This is like very close to walking the line to me ending the conversation too, because it gets like, it's nuts, man. Like, it gets so political, and like vaccines become like a thing, and it's like, oh my god, there's so many like. So many lines to walk, you know?
It's just a thought that I had. And then when Tommy brought up, he goes, well, people who don't like sports are going to be like, oh, what? Because they play sports like they're better than me and shit.
And they honestly,
that's right, yeah.
From the outside perspective of someone that doesn't like sports, like, these guys play a game for a living and make like 80 times what I make in a year. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I'll never see that much money in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting thought. But because it'd be so much, I don't know.
It would make the league run smoothly,
a lot smoother than what it is.
But I mean, if you think about it in that perspective, giving it to other people makes the world run smoothly. Right?
So,
well, I think we leave it alone there. We're done.
Yeah, I want to end that conversation right there.
Oh, man. I like that, though. That was good.
Yeah. So you weren't there because Tommy was the one that, like, slapped me out of what I was thinking.
It's different, you know? It's always nice having outside perspective to show you what else there is, you know?
Right. Last thing on the list before we start just talking shit was Jimmy Howard. You retired. 36 years old, retired after 14 years with the Red Wings. He was drafted back in 2003 by the Red Wings and became the starter back in 2009, 2010. Howard is third in both games played with 543 and wins with 246 in Wings history. He's right behind Terry Sawchuk and Chris Osgood in both categories. Wings had signed him for a year deal last season and didn't want to sign him again this season. Edmonton was interested to pick him up, but Howard decided to retire and coach minor league hockey. So,
shout out to him.
Shout out to him.
What a leg end.
What a leg end, man.
That might be the new thing. I like leg end,
especially me. I feel like anytime I see the Red Wings, I think Jimmy Howard. He's just that, like. What can I say here? Like
he's an icon for their
he's an icon.
Team.
Like I remember growing up and like looking at like the Flyers logo and thinking Eric Lindros. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's just So props to Jimmy Howard on a great career that he's had. Raised the cup with the Detroit Red Wings against the Pens back in I think that season, right? 2009.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
I think so.
As soon as he came in, and then 36 years old. They said he had a rough season last season, but playing for as long as he did, and it's bound to catch up to you. But he had a great career at the Red Wings, and again with the stats that he has to be right behind Terry Sawchuk and Chris Osgood, I mean you can't go wrong. He should be very proud of his career. So
one thing that's interesting about this too, it says they didn't want to sign him again for this season. Edmonton was interested, but he decided to retire. So that brings me to. The Maple Leafs, Spezza, I don't know which one it is. He said he will retire if he got put on waivers by Toronto, and he says he will retire if he's claimed off of waivers. So Toronto doesn't want him. You know what I mean? They got him on waivers. So why wouldn't he just retire?
This is what happens when you take piss breaks, buddy. I explained waivers. So
no, I understand how it works, but he should just retire.
Yeah, if you.
So he's basically holding out and saying, Toronto, either take me back or I'm retiring.
Well, it's not. So was he put on waivers for the taxi squad? Is that why
waivers is waivers? I'll check.
No. The taxi squad waiver is different, is what I was saying while you were taking a piss break. Is it the taxi squad waiver that he was doing for? Because in order for a team to send someone down for the taxi squad, they need to be put on waivers, no matter who it is.
Right, and so either way, it's a waiver. There's not a specific taxi squad waiver and a regular waiver.
Yeah.
A waiver is a waiver.
But a waiver is a waiver. But it doesn't mean he's gone. It just means once he's put on the waiver, there's 24 hours to pick him up.
Yeah.
But if no one picks him up, he's just going to be down in the affiliate where the Toronto Maple Leafs can bring him back up again.
Right, yeah.
So all he has is that 24-hour period where maybe someone will pick him up. But
he's forcing the entire league's hand and saying now we don't want him, and now he gets what he wants and gets to go back to the Leafs. It's either that or he just go what I mean?
I wouldn't say like they didn't want him. They're just like,
okay,
we
I see the gripe
put
there.
you down, and like bring you up,
But we don't want you on our starting roster.
We don't want you right now or something like. You know what I'm saying? But
they don't want him then. That's the way I see that. He's either good enough to be in your top 4 lines, or he's not, and that's what it is. And I think Spezza is just forcing the entire league's hand by doing this, and I think it's friggin' lame. Either retire or. Just I don't know. It's just annoying. Like, you are literally saying I'm only going to play for the Maple Leafs, and now no team is going to pick you up because you will retire, and that's it. So if I was another team, I'd fucking pick him up. I'd be like, fine, go retire, buddy.
You know what probably fucking told him to do that was probably Mitch Marner. Remember the Mitch Marner whole bullshit where he's just like, either pay me like Austin Matthews or I'm going to go to a different team, and Toronto's like, fuck, what do we do now? And then they
paid him like idiots. I blame Toronto. I respect Mitch Marner for that because he could go to another team, be a stud, be the guy, and get paid.
Right.
Good for him. You don't like that he did that?
I just feel like it's a bitch move, especially...
It's not. He's strong-arming him for money because he deserves to get paid.
The way he did it, though, was bad. I feel like he should have at least went up to him and be like, hey, can we discuss, my payment?
That's not his job. That's his agent's job.
It's his agent's job.
So I guarantee you the agent had talks with him. The agent came back and said, yeah, they're willing to give you 8. He's like, no, I want 10. The agent goes back and says he wants 10. They say no. He says, I'm going to hold out. You know what I mean? There's a whole middleman aspect of it. And I think, I respect it a lot because I respect that. I don't respect what Spezza's doing. Not at all.
You're right in that sense where it doesn't make sense.
He has strong-armed the entire league into not picking him up. Whereas Mitch Marner has strong-armed just the Maple Leafs into sign me for the money that I'm worth or I'm going to walk and go to another team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Jason Spezza is such like a name that
oh my God, he's a stud. You know?
Exactly.
He was a stud. I mean, his game has slipped over the years, but he's still that good. I would put him in the same category as Keith Yandle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you although this year though, I feel like Keith Yano's better than Spezza.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Even last year. And probably 3 or 4 years before that. But I think Spezza's close. You know what I mean? Like, they carry the same weight, even though Yandel's probably 2 or 3 rungs above Spezza.
Right. I don't know. We would need more information.
Absolutely.
I feel like if we're in the situation and knew what was happening, I think we'd be more aware.
Yeah, you don't look at the other aspects. Maybe Toronto's like, hey, tell everyone you retire.
Yeah.
And then we'll pull you back up when we need you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. So... a lot of open ends there.
Right. Maybe they could have thrown him on waivers, and you got Spezza saying he's going to retire because you put him on waivers. That 24 hours, man. How many teams are going to go after him? How many teams are going to go after him? And then
are you saying that actually how many, or you think a lot will?
Actually, how many teams would go after him? A shit ton, right?
I would say 6 max.
Yeah, 6.
But 6 is a lot.
Max. 6 is a lot of players. And now exactly what I was talking about with the waivers. Now the worst team out of that 6 is going to pick up Jason Spezza.
Oh yeah.
And now he went to Toronto, which is right now is ironically
to Detroit.
A great team. Did Detroit or
Chicago.
Chicago. And you're like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Oh, that's a funny. That's an interesting. See,
so
these other perspectives.
As a player, yeah,
that's
it's
funny.
Damn, in that sense, it's a scary thought. You're like, damn, I want to play for Toronto, man. They're a great team. I got
he wants to stay there. I mean, he's been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Nothing's better than his laugh, though, man.
Yeah.
Nothing's better than his laugh.
The last couple things I have here: Detroit's game against Columbus. Dylan Larkin and Zach Werenski going at it. Did you see that? They're childhood buddies. They grew up playing together.
You're telling me? I don't think I saw the fight.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know what happened, but they get into it in front of the net. And what happens, Larkin and Werenski are such good friends. Larkin offered to host Werenski's parents to the game because Werenski's family is from Detroit. So Dylan has access to Detroit Red Wings tickets for Detroit residents only, or Michigan residents. So since Werenski's out of state, he can't get those. So he reserved them for him and everything. And then they get in the game, and there's a scrum, and there's I think this game went to overtime, if I'm not mistaken. And they get into a scrum in front of the net, and they just start going at it. And they're actually throwing punches, which is nuts because they're close friends. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if I'm your best friend or not. They're going to throw them. So, and then at the end, they were both laughing about it. So that's just what it is. It's kind of weird that, you can just get in a fist fight and be cool with it at the end of it, you know?
I mean, especially from, that perspective, too. And they're both good friends and shit. So, I don't know. It could be the hockey mentality, too. Is hey, let's scrum. Because I've had guys...
But there's hey, let's scrum. But this looked like a full blown fight because I saw the video. You haven't yet. They were throwing them, you know.
Yeah, but we used to do that in high school, man. You ever do helmet boxing? There's probably
helmet boxing was so much fun.
That's probably another reason why I
did it in lacrosse. So much fun.
Yeah, man, we got it. But no one, when we were doing it, man, no one pulled their punches, man. It's you blacked out for a second and fell down.
I never had that. Jesus.
No?
No.
Were
you wearing a goalie helmet?
Celtic kids are different. No, you wear regular player helmets with the cage and stuff, and you'd be rocked, man. Mm-hmm. God, we were stupid back then.
Yeah, no, I definitely did that. That's a lot of fun. And then the last note I have here is Brandon Lemieux's shift for the Rangers. We were talking about, who was it last week that had that awesome shift blocking the shots? Who just retired from the Rangers? Callahan. Ryan Callahan had that shift. It looked just like that. Lemieux drops down. He's got his right leg down, takes a clap bomb off the calf muscle. So his leg is probably just having muscle spasms, locked up. And he can't even get it back up to his feet for a solid 5 seconds. Finally gets enough room to get to the point again. Blocks another shot in the defensive zone.
Off his back, right?
Yeah, the second one went, I think, off his same leg or up there. And then just hobbles to the bench.
He's still trying to go.
Yeah.
If there's ever an intro for NHL hockey, it should just be that.
Yeah.
And then at the end, just have the NHL logo on there.
It's the Greg Campbell shift when he breaks his femur,
right.
The Ryan Callahan shift right there, and then Brandon Lemieux. Add him to the list.
I couldn't believe he was trying so hard. You could tell. You could see the agony.
In his face, yeah.
But he was just nope, I got to get back in the fence. It was he was in a kayak, just with the stick trying to get over.
Yeah, it did look like it, didn't it? Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. And then he was still able to block that second shot. I'm like, this guy is amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So definitely looks incredible for who was at the Rangers, right?
Yeah, the Rangers.
Yeah, definitely looks, especially for the coaches and the head coaches and the GMs. I think as a player, that makes you look really good.
Brendan Lemieux. I'm an idiot. I thought it was Brandon.
How old is he?
24.
24, man.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. The heart he has for that too.
Right.
I can't imagine taking a shot like that, like a shot block like that. My God.
I know, like, people think goalies are crazy. We have so much protection padding, we don't feel anything, and like the players are the ones that are crazy.
Don't have anything, especially especially the guys going down for like take the shot. We have a mask. They have a helmet with like their face just like wide open, and
Dude,
I'm like,
so many of them don't wear cages. I don't get it.
I remember I call him Duncan Teeth. Duncan Keith back in like the day. It was that Stanley Cup run. He took a clapper off the face and lost a shit ton of teeth. Do you remember that?
He came back out and finished the game.
He came back out and finished the game. I'm like, holy shit.
It's crazy, dude. That would hurt so bad.
Oh, God. They got to pump him up with something. They're like, just do something.
Oh, yeah. They got it. Just straight morphine in the mouth.
So now, like, every time like he smiles, I just call him Duncan Teeth now.
Like, who was I talking about the other week? Studnicka. He got no front teeth.
There's a few guys that like started smiling. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's got no teeth at all.
But like, if you're in the NHL and you get your teeth blown out, like, I'm not paying to have dental work done until I'm done with my career. Like, I'll get it cleaned up so that like I feel okay. There's no risk of infection.
Right,
but
exactly.
I'm not getting fake teeth put in until I'm done.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like Brent Burns it.
At that point, just pull them all and just give me fake teeth. Like I think I was telling you,
Sean Avery's got a nice set of fake teeth, I think.
Sean, nice, Sean Avery. He was on a podcast with I think Spittin' Chicklets or whatever, saying like he's now doing like commercials.
He's an actor now. Yeah, like an actually like a role actor, learning lines and shit.
It's kind of crazy. He went from doing a marching band in front of Brodeur to acting now.
Funny.
I'll always remember that. You say Sean Avery, and that's the first thing I think of, that whole Brodeur.
We talked about the Avery rule and the Brodeur rule a couple episodes ago.
Exactly.
But yeah.
So other than that, we got some
Nothing
time
else, right?
left. But, what's how have the picks been?
Oh, the picks. I didn't do the math. Let's chalk it up real quick. Basically, though, we missed a couple. I think you missed a couple days, so your numbers are going to be off. For the most part, it's been nice getting these all in. I think we both took today and yesterday off. Us and Alex, our listeners, still doing them. Like I said, if anyone else wants to jump in, feel free. They're fun. Something to do.
I took today off. Usually, when I do the notes for the podcast, I usually do it the day of, so everything is up to date with everything we're talking about.
Just an eyeball check. It looks like I may have caught up to you with you missing picks, based on like green and red.
How many people we got going on now? Is it
just me, you, and Alex. Yeah. Beer League Hero didn't want to jump in. If anyone else wants to, they're more than welcome to.
It's been fun.
It has been. It's something to do.
It's actually gotten difficult because like now you got to take with Elias Samsonov and everything out.
Yeah, if I knew him and Obi were out, I wouldn't have picked Washington.
Like, holy shit, yeah.
I don't really check. I kind of just wing it.
Oh my God,
because I got fantasy to worry about.
I wrote
too.
down Cal Peterson, the goalie for LA Kings. Man, I'm like, if he's in net, they're not gonna win. And that game, man, that I watched with, I can't remember who they played.
Minnesota, probably.
Minnesota,
I think.
fucking, I don't want to say he's terrible, man, but like, my God, he's just like, I don't know, it's just goals that shouldn't happen. I'm like, it's one of those goalies that you can't really rely on, But want to wrap this up?
Yeah, that's about it, man.
Well,
oh yeah, we got a shot to do. We almost forgot him last week.
Oh my God, we almost forgot.
We almost forgot him last week. I'm gonna keep leaving him here.
Yeah.
So I got Smirnoff whipped cream this week.
It's funny because I was looking at it and I'm like, let's wrap this up. So Jack Daniels, Tennessee Honey. You didn't like this last time, but we got like
good luck.
10 of these left.
They're one of the most common nips bought. The honey takes away from the whiskey bite, but
that's not bad.
Good luck, dude. Yeah, I got a Smirnoff whipped cream. Oh.
Cheers, pal. Cheers, buddy. That's really not that bad.
This is better than the vanilla. I like this one better.
It tastes like maple syrup, kind of. It's not that bad. It's hitting me now, though. I like the... Anyway.
Oh, I had, what was it? I sent you a picture of it. Glenlivet 18?
Glenlivet, yep.
Let me check.
14 or something like that.
No, it was definitely 18. Let me see. So this was, my buddy Tommy bought this. I texted it to you, a picture of it. $73 bottle. Oh, Dewar's. That's what it was.
Dewar's, yep.
Dewar's 18-year true Scotch, double-aged, and it was a blend. So there are 5 different single malt scotches.
We gotta start getting sponsors on here because I'm telling you, man, Jameson's been my boy. It's like this entire.
Yeah, reach out to Jameson. See if they'll
Hey,
sponsor
Jameson,
our podcast.
Yeah, you ever listen to Post podcast? I mean,
Yeah, we got like 8 viewers.
we got like 8 viewers per. I mean, we're doing good.
I think they'll buy a bottle eventually.
We'll give you a little shout out.
Yeah,
help you guys out.
But
Other than that, thanks for everyone for listening. If there's anything you want to see us cover next episode, let us know. Our links are in the description, and we'll see you all next week.
Cheers,
Hey,
boys.
guys. Bye.
See ya.